you'll need to plan where you'll hook up the leads to your 20 amp dedicated circuit. A licensed electrician will be able to help set one up from the main electrical box. The QuietWarmth system does need to be protected by a GFCI, which thoughtfully is incorporated into any of the QuietWarmth branded thermostats. The joist installation is slightly different than the previous two applications, for the main fact that it doesn't install directly underneath the floor covering materials. Rather, it will install under the subfloor decking that can be accessed beneath, like in a basement or a crawl space. Only 16-inch on center joist spacing will work for this joist mat installation. Now, you'll need an ohms meter, a staple gun, and a pair of scissors to help with this installation. Just as before, pre-plan and measure the lengths that are needed. All leads should run to a junction box. Again, measure out the lengths of your joist area and cut the joist mats where it says to cut only. This is a bit different than the tile and float, as you cannot just cut anywhere between the black strips. Each mat is comprised of a series of panels that are spaced 1 foot apart. Cut at these 1 foot increments only, and it is labeled for cutting at these spots. Now this is important because cutting into any other area will disable the mat. Once cut to length as needed, again cover the cut bus bar ends with the provided Kapton discs to insulate the mat from any electrical leakage and potential tripping. Measure and record the ohms again and ensure that it matches the resistance values given in the instruction booklet. Now we're ready to staple these up. This side with the yellowish color will be the visible side you see when you're done hanging the mats. And note this perforated edge to the mats. It will allow for easy stapling to the joist. It's easiest to install one side completely first and install it 2 inches below the decking. It's a good practice to make a few guide marks on each side to know where to line the mats up as you go. Then staple along close to the perforated edge and about every 12 inches. Then carefully fold the other side of the mat upward and bend down the other perforated side edge and staple it close to the bend line, ensuring the mat is level between the two joists. There will be a 2-inch air gap below the subfloor decking. It's good practice to recheck the mat's resistance again with the ohm meter to ensure no damage occurred during the hanging of the mats. Just as before, run all lead wires to the junction box and wire them in parallel. Remember, all final power hookups should be performed by a licensed electrician. Ensuring that we are pushing the heat upwards, install thermal insulation beneath the joist mat. When first turning on in-floor heat, it may take up to 72 hours for full results on the surface of the floor covering.